Hello family, it's been a while since I made a video. Just thought that I'd do a little something just to basically just touch base with how I'm doing today. I'm just out cruising, man. I listened to a little bit of James Brown today, Sex Machine, and listen to Slave, a lot of the old 70s, good stuff. That music that made you get up and boogie down, And as I'm riding and stuff, I'm riding through neighborhood, and I see all these little brown kids out here running around, enjoying the day. 69 degrees out here in October 22nd, and 70 degrees, beautiful day. I'm getting ready to go home now and get my drone. I want to go out and fly a little bit, just take some aerial shots. That's what I like to do. And then tomorrow, it's supposed to be another nice day. Tomorrow I'm going to go to my grandson's football game and go and I just bought a new metal detector, so I can go out and try to find my gold, silver, it don't matter, whatever it is, But as I was riding down through the neighborhood and stuff, I'm just looking at all these little brown kids, running around all over the place and stuff, and I'm just looking at how happy these kids are, man. And this breeze is blowing and stuff, and it's just a beautiful day, and they're just beautiful, and it makes me think, I apologize for put my hand all over the screen and stuff if you're interested in looking at me, but it makes me sad and whatnot, when I hear about these different municipalities all across this country, having bad water conditions, bad drinking water conditions. And, right here in the great U.S. of A., that, is, I ride down through some neighborhoods and stuff, and I go into some supermarkets and stuff, and I see, these big old signs talking about, we support Ukraine. And I get it. This is human beings that I don't even know what really the situation is with Ukraine. All I know is I hear that they in war with Russia over there on the other side of the world. And I figure basically that has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with, anybody in America, really. Unless you got some family over there or whatever and stuff, then you might be affected by that some kind of way. But we got our own damn problems right here in this country, where there's people again over here who have bad drinking water, and I don't hear nobody saying support the children in Detroit. I don't hear that rallying cry. I don't see no signs up in the supermarkets that I go to. I don't see no signs in there that says, support, these little brown babies and stuff like that. That's getting all this, bad drinking water right here in the good old US of A, and Michigan and New Jersey, and I'm sure there's a bunch of that shit going on in New York, and anywhere else. You have a population of Hispanics and so-called black people. I call them today the Aboriginal people of America, who are still suffering persecution and what's that other word they like to use? What the hell is the name of that word I'm looking for, man? That annihilation is one word, and the the mass killings of African people and stuff like that in these concentration camps over here in America. And once again, we got these people running around here talking about we support Ukraine. I don't understand. Like, if there's a war in America, right, or there's a war outside of America for the most part, because there ain't too many wars that there be inside this country, but when America, the powers that be, when they go and pick a country that they want to go and invade, when they pick a country that they want to take over, they want to steal the resources, when they pick these countries to go do this devilish deed that they do, right? They run and try to get, like I've been noticing lately, they got all these freaking commercials on television. Yeah, you heard me correctly, the television, right? They got all these ads and stuff like that for the military, the army and the mostly the army. And every now and then you see one in there, something about the Marines or whatever. But these are, ads that they trying to recruit people to go and fight a war on another damn land and you don't even know what you're fighting for, right? Like, it's hard enough for me right here in America to fight, when something, is said, or something is basically said to me, or, one of my children or whatever. It's hard for me to go and fight, because it's really no reason for me to go fight. I don't see any reason. Like, when I was younger and stuff in my 20s, 40 some odd years ago, I would fight if I had to fight. I've had many fights. I've got battle scars all over my body, from different situations and stuff like that over the years. But I've resigned from fighting and stuff, especially unnecessary BS that ain't got nothing to do with me. And so I don't understand, right? How come you want to recruit these brown kids, you understand, to go and fight a war for you, but you can't even make sure they got healthy drinking water? What kind of soldier they going to be? Oh, then again, it really doesn't matter, because you hope that they go over there and, they lay down their lives and stuff like that while you over here living fat off the hog. I'm just so freaking tired of the hypocrisy, and the BS in this country, America. All the propaganda. I'm talking about serious propaganda that's been spouted out ever since I was a damn kid myself. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was a kid, and there used to be the threat at that time when I was coming up was that the Russians was coming. You know what I'm saying? Or the Chinese was coming and stuff. They have all these freaking boogeyman and and all this kind of stuff that's coming to get you. Like, when you do bad things, right, then you have bad dreams. When you do bad things, like, that's your karma that comes back. that's your karma and stuff that is returning to you one way or another. It's going to come back one way or another. You know, and I don't understand, like, you know, we are human beings. You know what I'm saying? And we live in a country. We all under one dome in this so-called planet Earth. We under one dome. We all breathe in the same air. You know? The sun is shining on all of us. When it rains, it doesn't discriminate. It shines and rains on everybody. But there's so much hatred. And it's always coming from European people. You know, it comes from them in their politics. It comes from them in their rhetoric. You know, it comes from them in the propaganda machine is constantly working to fear these people. They're so fearful that somebody wants to do something to them. Well, if you haven't done anything to anybody like me, I can go to bed every single night. And I don't worry about nobody coming and kicking in my door. I don't worry about nobody coming to hurt me because I haven't done any wrong to anybody. And if I've done any wrong to anybody, I'm telling you, like, I apologize. I don't want to be anybody's enemy. I don't want to be fighting with anybody. I just want to live in peace. I just want to live my life. I want to enjoy my life. And I'm telling you as an African American male, an Aboriginal male, a black male, African American male, whatever you want to call me. Because, you know, we've been given a lot of names by these same Europeans. But they never told you that you were children of the sun. They never told you that you were gods. They never told you that you were the first people on the planet. They gave you an Adam and Eve that looked like them. You understand? Like, they don't tell you this type of shit, but they tell you nothing but lies about God, about your history. You know, who you are and stuff. They teach a bunch of propaganda in these schools. Schools is worth nothing. Because basic math and stuff like that really is all you need out here. Science, you understand? Like a lot of the stuff and whatnot, you know, it's good to go to school. I'm not saying, you know, the schools are bad and stuff, but what are you teaching? You know? Like, what are you teaching? You teaching lies? Like, why would somebody want to take my underwear, right, and put them on and go and wear my underwear? That's the same thing that they did. They took our name, our culture, our history, all of this. And then the point I'm trying to make is they take this shit, right? They take this shit and act like it's theirs. You talk about identity theft. Huh? This is the biggest form of identity theft in history. And nobody is gone to jail. So again, just getting back, staying on point, because all of this stuff is relevant. Everything is relevant. Nothing is by coincidence. Nothing is, I'm not making anything up. We know this because we see this every day. They report this stuff on the news when, you know, when some kids get sick. Come on, man. These are freaking babies, man. You know? There's so much wickedness that these people do. And it's not all European people. It's not all, I'm not, trust me, I'm not saying it's all European people, okay? But you European people that's getting offended, I'm probably talking to you, or I'm talking to somebody that you know right? You know me, I got European friends. You know, I mean, hey, they treat me, I give them the same respect that they give me. You know what I'm saying? I get along with everybody. I love everybody. To be honest with you, I love everybody till they give me a reason not to love them. I don't have any choice because that's my nature. See, I know the truth that you came from me. I didn't come from you. You can't get a brown man from a pale man. You can't get it. It's not gonna happen. Even if you mix with a brown female, you still gonna have, you know, a lighter brown, maybe even a beige or you know, a lighter brown than you would have if you get it right from the goddamn right from the source. Okay, which is me. I'm the source. You know, but you know, and again, I treat everybody the same way they treat me. Okay, I was raised that way. You know, I learned from my grandmother. I remember my grandmother worked for a woman that was she was a seamstress, and you know, back then that's what a lot of our you know, grandparents and stuff like that. That's what they did. Seamstress was a high paying job because Nana lived good. You know, and when I went over there and stuff like that, look, her house she owned her house. My grandfather and my grandmother owned their house. So they was doing pretty doggone good. He was a police officer and she was a seamstress. And I never went to their house and saw my grandfather upset about nothing. I see his gun laying around, you know, the gun was in the holster, of course. You know, laid on the back of his chair and whatnot, you know, whatever. And, you know, like I never heard that man talk about nothing negative ever about anybody. Never heard my grandmother talk negative about anybody. As a matter of fact, I used to love this little redhead girl named Charlotte that I met the last time I saw my grandmother before I saw her in the hospital. But the last time I saw her, she had her employer. They had came out and visited her in her place because they sold the house and moved out into an apartment. And I don't know. I guess it was, you know, because it was too much for her to take care of because she, you know, she had 3 strokes before she passed away. You know, my grandmother was very sensitive and very loving and caring, and you know, I learned later and stuff like that my grandfather had another wife on the other side of town. That was a thing back then too. You know, men had, you know, they had more than one wife, one family, more than one. We do the same thing today. I got, you know, 6 children by, you know, three different women. So, but I love them all the same, you know? And so, it's just sad though, right? That you see these people and stuff, man, these you know, these young kids suffering from basically poison in the water. You know, these people don't you know, they don't care, man. You know, that's some, I ain't never seen no freaking devil, no red devil, right, with no horns in the ground, with no demons and all of that crap. I never saw that. But I saw these European people, okay? I saw them beat the hell out of black, so-called black people, okay, on television. George Floyd, we saw him get choked out right on television with a cop with a knee on his neck. We saw Eric Gardner in New York. Eric Gardner he was like a, you know, I looked at that brother and he was like a buffalo. And them hounds, those beasts, those lions, they jumped. They wasn't even lions. They was lionesses, because, you know, that's some girly stuff to me, that, you know, when you a man, you got a beef with another man or whatever, you know what I'm saying, then you fight one-on-one. You use these, to settle your differences and stuff, if that's what it comes down to. But they jumped all over this man like he was a freaking buffalo and had the man down on the ground. Both of them had him down on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I can't breathe. I seen Alton down in Atlanta, I think it was, brother. Again, dude wasn't resisting that. This brother was out there trying to make a living, selling tapes or whatever and stuff, CDs, DVDs, whatever he was doing, to support his family and stuff, right? And the guy inside the store later said that he had no problem with him or whatever and stuff, but the slave catcher, the slave catcher came out there and he wanted to take control. You know what I mean? See, he take control when he got that gun in his hand. But I seen a lot of them get beat down, right? When somebody tell them to take that gun off, and fight like a man and stuff like that, right? I see them get beat down. The fuck you looking at? I seen them get beat down and stuff, you know what I'm saying, by the same joker that they would have shot and killed, you know what I'm saying, and said that they threatened for their life, because that's what it is. They're not gonna fight you like a man. They'd rather shoot and kill you, you know what I'm saying, than to get that beat down. You know what I'm saying? So we know what that's all about anyway. You know what I mean? That's that jealousy, that envy. That's really a sad thing, man. So the kids in the water and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's just really sad, man. I don't even know what to say about any change and stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, something needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? We as a people, I'm talking about these Asian Indian, so-called Asian Indians. I'm talking about these Africans that come over here from Africa. I'm talking about all of our Hispanic brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? Whether you from Cuba, whether you from the Dominican Republic, whether you from Puerto Rico, whether you from Mexico. I'm talking about all of y'all, man. Y'all know the deal, man. Y'all know that y'all come in our neighborhoods and you ain't got no issues with us. We not robbing you. We not killing you. We not raping your women and none of that kind of stuff like that. All that stuff is propaganda, man. That's to keep you away from us. Because if you was to understand, right, that especially, like, let's just take, for example, you so-called Asian Indian, right? When you do the research and stuff like that, right, that there was India, the Indus Valley, right, was populated with melanated people, brown people like this, okay? Melanated people. You are a melanated being, whether you like it or not. You was over there in India, and I don't know how long it was, but I know that the British was over there in India putting their foot in your butt the same way that they was over here. But y'all a little more docile, and y'all a little more timid than we are. You see? So I don't know how it was done, but you so-called got liberated over there and whatnot, and you were able to keep your culture. You was able to keep your identity pretty much. We was over on this continent over here. Well, let me just keep on going, right? Because a lot of them think that I heard superintendent told me that she said that when Indian people call and ask her about apartments and stuff, they always ask, is there a bunch of black people that live over there? Really? That really pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I look at some videos and stuff like that. I wouldn't even want to live in India. I wouldn't even want to live over there in the cities and stuff like that, because y'all over there, it's like a rat race over there. You know what I'm saying? Jokers riding around on scooters and flying around all over the place, and cars all over the place, and people all over the place. I wouldn't even want to live over there. I wouldn't want to live around you either. But where my wife lives, there's nothing but a bunch of Indians over there. My grandson plays with them. They speak to me. I even had a couple of them ask me to take them on different to different places and stuff like that, because I do Uber and Lyft. So I gave them rides and stuff, and I don't have no issues with them. So I don't know, like, where are these people that they're talking about that be talking about they don't want to be around black people. Now, see, I'm not putting all of my Asian Indian brothers and sisters in no bunch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting y'all all in the same bracket. Okay, I'm saying, because y'all know who y'all are again, and it's okay, because you've been brainwashed into thinking that you're a European, right? Or you want to brag about you come from India. You understand? Okay, so what? What does that mean? You understand what I'm saying? Why you here? You don't want to be around black people, don't come here. Same thing with my Mexican brothers and sisters. You understand? There was melanated people in Mexico thousands of years ago. Go to your museums in Mexico. Go look at your gods that the Mayans worship, that the Incas worship. Okay? Go look at them. And they're on the wall over there, in the pyramids over there. The stuff that y'all don't even know about because you don't go there. You don't even know your own history. You see? Your people look like me. My Dominican brothers and sisters. Are y'all kidding? You over there in the Dominican Republic, poor as hell. Right? You come over here and you think you're better than me? No, you're not better than me. You're not better than me. You don't even know me. You don't know how hard I work all my life. I worked since I was 12 years old, probably before then. When I used to clean up my mother's house, my mother used to go to work, because I'm the oldest out of my family, so I used to clean up all the time. I'm a hustler from birth, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I cut grass. I do plumbing. I do electrical. I do some air conditioning and stuff. I work on cars. You understand? I do carpentry. I do roofing. I do everything. So don't come over here talking about we lazy. Don't listen to that garbage. I'm not even saying, I apologize. I'm not even going to say that you say that. Okay? I'm not even going to say you say that. I'm going to say that if you say that, you're wrong. Okay? And you need to go and do some research on your own people and stuff like that, and see who your ancestors were. Your ancestors didn't look like John Wayne. Okay? And John Wayne could care less about you. Your ancestors didn't look like Tom Cruise. Your ancestors didn't look like none of these pale-faced jokers that you think you are and you want to be, right? Because you hate yourself, because they make you hate yourself. They make you hate yourself. They've tried that with us for centuries. When we was coming up and stuff, we used to watch cartoons and stuff. Bugs Bunny. I remember this one Bugs Bunny cartoon where they had these so-called cannibals, and they were, they was with the bone in the nose and the big lips and all of that. I'm proud of my lips anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of my lips. You know what I'm saying? And I've been, I ain't gonna get. I've been with many different women and stuff of different nationalities, several nationalities, several colors, and I'm not bragging or nothing like that, but they love my lips. So just because you don't have big lips, there's no need for you to be mad. They even make it today, right? This is to tell you, this is to show you how insane this is, right? They even make They even have shots and stuff now that you can go and pucker up your lips. Look at the white women that's doing that. You know what I'm saying? Huh? They got shots you can shoot in the butt and make your butt big. Look at Kim Kardashian. You know what I'm saying? All of them, they just obsessed with that breast. You understand? Getting the breast enlargement or whatever and stuff like that. Because people just hate themselves. So, you know, how can they love anybody outside of themselves when they don't even love themselves? How's that possible? Huh? Tell me. I just want to know. You know, I'm just sick and tired of race. It ain't even racism, because I ain't got no problem with racism. My definition of racism is when a particular group looks out for the interests of that group. Okay, that's my definition of racism. Bigotry, on the other hand, is when you hate people and you don't even know them. You hate people for no reason. You can't tell me that you possibly look at yourself in the mirror and say that you love yourself, right? And then go out and hate somebody else. Because that hate that you be throwing out there at somebody else, that affects you more than it affects me. Because I don't care about your hate. Because if you come at me, then I'll deal with you as I see fit. You understand? Like, I don't have them issues with people coming at me with that stuff. You know what I mean? Because, like, I just let them know, like, again, like, you don't know shit. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing about me. You don't know nothing about history. You don't know nothing. You know what they told you and that was it, right? You haven't done any research to find out anything about any other people other than yourself. We all go to school and learn about, you know, George Washington. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you look up George Washington now, when you go look up his lineage and stuff like that, right? George Washington has some black folks in his family. Okay? Alexander, that was the father of the country, right? Alexander Hamilton, another one. Go look this stuff up, man. I ain't making this up. Go look it up. Go research their lineage. You understand? Their family. You understand? And they wasn't no slaves, okay? They wasn't no slave. Because, you know, there was a lot of European slavery all over the world. And they don't want to talk about that, right? I heard this guy one time, I don't know where it was. It must have been in England somewhere, London or somewhere over there, where this beast, that's my name for these bigots, beast, antisocial, homosexual, gay, you know, whatever, you know, they look at you sideways and stuff like that, right? Because they want to be you, you know, but, you know, all of that stuff, you know, all of that, you know, gay stuff and whatnot, man, that stuff starts with them. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, they molested a lot of us. Women raped the women and molested the men. You understand? Because flippy flop, you know? So we know all of this, man. But I just want to bring it back to say that, you know, we all human beings on this planet again, and we live underneath this dome. You understand? And we ain't going nowhere. You know, you can come with all of these freaking coronavirus and AIDS and herpes and HIV and all of this kind of stuff, Ebola, all this stuff was created by them. These same people. You making this stuff in laboratories. Then you want to blame it on somebody else. He's just like you, though. Wuhan, they just like you. They just like them. This is why I don't understand why it is that, you know, people of color and stuff like that go into these places where they do nails, where they sell hair, you know what I'm saying, where they sell, you know, their food. They don't even eat that shit. And we go in there and buy it and love it. And then they if you 25 cents short, they cancel your order. You start talking any kind of way about you don't like the food or whatever, they tell you to get out. Huh? Come on, man. Why would you allow somebody to treat you like that when you're supporting their business? They're not giving you anything. There ain't nobody gonna be in there that look like you working for them either. So, you know, like, it's just sad, man. You know what I'm saying? That we got to deal with this nonsense. This just don't make no sense. This stuff is just unbelievable. That, you know, and a lot of time I be thinking that I be, you know, not, you know, like I don't think that I'm dreaming, but I just look at stuff and be like, why is that necessary? You know, why is it necessary for you to be driving in your car, minding your business, and somebody pulled you over? He started yelling and screaming at you. I had a cop one time pull me over, and I was in my company truck, right? I was in a company truck. It was 4:30 in the morning. Was nobody on the road but me and him. Right? And I had one of my coworkers had called me, and I was supposed to be there. I think I was supposed to be there earlier or whatever, but I had called him and told him I was on the way anyway. I driving and I made a right turn onto a highway. This dude was from another municipality. He was sitting on another municipality side of the road, right? And he pulled me over and told me that I was doing 50 miles an hour in a 40 mile an hour zone. I said, my man, there's no way I could have been doing 50. I said, I just made the right turn and you're sitting like a block away from where I just turned. No way I can get from zero in a freaking van. You know, in a company van loaded with you know, stuff from my job, right? No way I could get up to 50 miles an hour. I might have been doing 40, if that. And you know, he comes on he shines the freaking light on this side, right? Blinding me in the freaking mirror. Why is that necessary? 4:30 in the freaking morning, man. Right? 4:30 in the morning, he's shining his freaking light, boom, here, right? I can't see. So he comes on the passenger side of the car, of the van, and he opens up the door. He's yelling and screaming about, you're speeding, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, my man, like, you know, license registration show. He didn't even give me a chance to say nothing. So I made sure, right? I open the door, man, so you can see what I'm doing, right? So I give him the paperwork, make a long story short. This joker comes back with the ticket and stuff, right? He throws the ticket and stuff and my stuff in the van and slams the door. That don't sound like a man that got none last night. Seriously, because that's their problem. You know what I mean? You know, when you watch these movies, man, with these boys, man, and you see how you know, they be like congregated up amongst one another, drinking and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And then, you know, they'll get all drunk up and stuff like that if they ain't got no wife or no girlfriend or whatever. Most of them ain't got no girlfriend if they ain't got no wife. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't even know how to treat the woman anyway. Because I've had a couple of them that I worked with, and they were younger than me, and I remember they used to come in there and brag about how they banged this girl. You know, and I was like, yeah, he said, I'll bang, 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 bang. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't do nothing other than just get on her and bang her and shoot your load and go. Hey, man, hey, that's it, man. That's how they think. They ain't no lovers. That's their envy and their jealousy right there, because, you know, we don't roll like that. Most of us don't roll like that. You know, unless you just trying to, you know, you just get a quickie or whatever and stuff like that. But for the most part, man, we intimate with our women and stuff, man. So, you know, we like to get in a little bit deeper than that. So, you know, it's some real social issues that's going on in this country, man, and all over the world. And, you know, I just want to say that, you know, we as a human race, a race of people, let's just say, we need to do better in taking care of each other, man. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way that there would be any melanated people. I would hope not that there would be any melanated people who, you know, love themselves and love nature and love, you know, people and stuff like that, man. You're not going to allow, you know, babies, man, to be drinking no freaking water that's like killing the reproductive organs, the reproductive system, you know, giving them cancer and all kinds of stuff, man, down the road and stuff like that, man. Why would you want that on your conscience? But these people, they do it and they go to bed and they don't even care. You know, any of these cops out here, man, that's done shot and killed somebody and got off, man, like, you know, they go back to work and they looking for freaking back pay. You know, they looking for, you know, they're looking for, you know, to be put back in their position and just go back to work like nothing ain't even happened. I don't understand how you can kill somebody. Like, you know, I just recently heard, and I try not to really follow too much of this stuff because, again, what that stuff does is drains you of your energy. And that's another topic that we'll get into later. But, you know, it's, you know, shot this kid in the back of the head and then went and put handcuffs on him. And then went back to the car that the kid was in to see what the other little homies was doing without even calling for any medical assistance for this kid that you just shot in the back of the head. You know, or the kids that they shoot in the back of the head and leave them laying in the freaking street. That's not human to me, man. That's not love. That's not compassion. That's murder, man. You know, pissed me off the other day again that I heard about this dude Chauvin, the one that killed George Floyd, how they moving him to another prison. Well, they moving him to another prison because, you know, he about to get his. You know, maybe, you know, maybe he's intimidated now. He ain't got no gun. You see? He ain't got no badge. He ain't got no courage. Because all of that courage and stuff, all that stuff come from that badge. Or alcohol or drugs. Every single one of them, when they kill somebody, shoot somebody, they use that weapon, just like me as a truck driver. If I get into an accident, right, they send me for a drug test. Whether it was my fault or not. So why wouldn't they send these boys to get a drug test after you just shot a joker and you ain't got no feeling? You got to be numb. I'm gonna sign out on that, man. I don't know, you know, I don't know. We just got to do better as a you know, a planet of human beings that's got to live here together, because we ain't going nowhere. We've been here right from the beginning. You know, it's funny how somebody tell me, and I haven't heard this in a long time, but how can you tell somebody else to go back to their country when they was born here? This is my country. Matter of fact, my people were here in this country thousands of years before any of you, any of y'all. The black man was here. Facts. It's all over the world. It's documented all over the world. It's in books all over the world. But they hide that stuff. And then they put John Wayne and them in the front and stuff, and then you want to grow up and be like John Wayne. Well, you should want to grow up and be like me. Because I love you. I love your children. I love your family, your grandmother, your mother, your father. I love you because you and me is one and the same. So stop it. All right? We got to do better. Peace.